All right, we'll call this meeting to order. Welcome this evening to the Brawley City Council and Successor Agency, to the Brawley Community Redevelopment Agency regular meeting agenda, scheduled today here Tuesday, June 7th, 2016, 6 p.m. If we get the roll call, please.
The minutes will reflect all council members present.
Excellent. We'll move to the next item, which will be the invocation from Father Ed Horning with St. Margaret Mary's Church.
Let us pray. Psalm 124 says, "Our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth." Lord God, you are the source of all life, love, communion, and joy, freedom, truth. We dispose ourselves to be receptive of your graces, your gifts, your virtues, your wisdom. We ask your blessing upon the city whom you have called us to serve. Ask your blessing upon all of our projects, in our service of you and of our neighbor. Ask your blessing upon all here present and upon the proceedings here. You live and reign, Lord God, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father Ed. And if we can have Councilmember Norma Howdy lead us in the pledge, please.
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember Howdy, and thank you very much, Father Ed, for the invocation. We'll move on to the first item, approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Seeing none, we'll move on to our next item, which is item 2, public appearances and comments. This is not to exceed 4 minutes. This is the time for the public to address the council on any items that are not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city council. The mayor will recognize you when you come to the microphone. Please state your name for the record. You are not allowed to make personal attacks on individuals or make comments that are slanderous or which may invade an individual's personal privacy. Please direct your comments or questions to the city council. And I'd like to begin, if we could, with we have an introduction here, item A, which is if we could get our police chief to come forward. We have a new officer we'd like to welcome.
Evening, Mayor, City Council members, staff, members of the audience. I take great pleasure in this part of the job of always being able to introduce a new officer to our community and to our staff and to our council. This Officer Nicholas Jodar. Nicholas is a resident from San Diego who graduated in Chula Vista, put himself through the academy, was number 3 in his class. We had an opportunity to pick him up, and we're very excited that we did. Nicholas comes to us with high hopes. This is something he's wanted to do for quite a long time, and we're glad to have him. So.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Hello. I'm honored to be here. Thank you guys. Thank everyone for being here. The members of the community, everybody, the council, chief. I'm really honored to be here. I plan to work very hard. I'm eager to learn, and I'm eager to serve. This is a great community. Everyone has been nothing but friendly to each other, to me, to everybody, and it's really a blessing to be here. Thank you, guys.
Fantastic. Thank you, Officer. Do we have any council comments?
Yes. Just want to welcome you again aboard this community of Brawley. We welcome you with open arms, and we're your family. I was honored to meet your mother, who I thought was your girlfriend. She's very young and beautiful. But I did meet your grandparents and your girlfriend. So I welcome all of them into our home here. So congratulations on coming to Brawley.
Thank you.
I too would like to welcome you to this fine city of Brawley. I think you'll enjoy working in this community. Like you said, I don't know how long you've been here, but you've already experienced that it's a very nice ambiance with the people in the community, and I think you'll feel welcomed. And if there's ever anything that you need, or we're open to talking to you at any time. and I hope you enjoy your career here very much.
Thank you.
Officer Jodar, congratulations to you and your family on your new position, and I know you're going to work hard, so, keep being out there, being positive, and we welcome you to Brawley. Want to wish you success and luck on your new position, and I hope everything works out for you, professionally and personally. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, congratulations and welcome to Brawley. I drive around out there, I'll wave, you'll see me wave. You won't know who I am, but sometimes I wave. And when I see you in a restaurant, I'll go up and speak to you and talk with you. And so, but we're glad to have you here, and we know you'll do a fine job.
Very good. And final note, just impressive, again, background. Again, I also like to reiterate those of you that put yourself through the academy. That's a tremendous initiative, cost, expense, and then to graduate as high as you did, we're very fortunate. So, Chief, thank you very much for, obviously, the process is working, for us to get an officer starting off as you are with the background and the quality. I noticed you were standing at attention also in the back, so I was expecting to hear some maybe military background or not, but hopefully when the chief's not around, you can stand at ease, when we're here. So again, absolutely welcome. I echo my fellow council members, so appreciate you being here today.
Thank you so much.
Very good.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I would like to point out that looking at Officer Jodar is looking in the rearview mirror about 30 years. That's exactly the age I started when I started law enforcement, from the same area, same place.
Very nice.
So it was very good. I'm glad to have him.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And Chief, you haven't changed much. So, fantastic. We'll move on. We're fortunate we have another introduction here, so if I can get our Parks and Work Director, Pat Dorsey, to come up, and we have another introduction.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I too am honored to welcome Mr. Cesar Duarte as Parks and Rec leadman. Cesar has been with us over 3 years now. He had the opportunity to move up, apply for leadman position. He got the position, and we would like to welcome him. Welcome, Cesar.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you for having me like a leadman, and I will do that best.
Fantastic.
Congratulations.
Cesar, we don't want to embarrass you too much, but I do, on behalf of council, we celebrate these because these are important, and obviously you being with us and moving up, we appreciate you taking the step, to do this, and as you know, Parks and Rec is something that's near and dear to our hearts as well. We're very proud of that, and thank you for your service up to this point, but we look forward to your service moving forward, so welcome, to your new promotion. We know you'll do a fantastic job.
Muchas gracias.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. There we go, and we will open this up and continue our public comments. Is anybody, any member of the public here would like to take advantage of getting some comments on the record? This is your time. Seeing none, I didn't know if Cesar is making a move back up here. No?
I doubt it.
Outside, right?
He wants to leave.
I think he's taking off.
That's his public comment. He's out.
Get out of here.
Could we have some air, please?
There, I think it just
I
kicked
think it
on.
just came
Okay.
on.
Excellent.
We're working on it.
Now it's hot. Sorry, it's a hot, cold thing.
Seeing none, and
No,
I
it
think
was
this will be a little bit, it's agendized as its own section, so what I will do at this point, we'll move on from public appearances and comments. We'll go to item 3, which will be special presentations. Item 3A, we will start up with Stephen Mireles, Chairperson of the Imperial Valley LGBT Resource Center Board of Directors, and this will be regarding the organization, advocacy efforts, and resources, and it looks like there's a PowerPoint presentation up here. Welcome, Mr. Mireles.
Hi there. My name is Steven Mireles. I just want to thank you so much for allowing me to speak here today. I'm going to be just speaking on a few different items here. I'm going to be talking about who we are as an organization, what the LGBT Center is for in the Imperial Valley. We're going to also look at a few statistical information for the population size of LGBT people in Imperial County as well as in the city of Brawley, why it matters to the city of Brawley, and then what does some of the terminology in the LGBT community mean, as well as how, as a city council, you can help serve the community that exists here. And then also just open up to any questions that you may have so that I can ask or be able to answer them for you today. So first, who we are. My name again is Steven Mireles. I used to live here when I was very, very little. My family lived here for many, many years. I am very, very proud of being born in Brawley. My family has served in Brawley for a very, very long time. My father served in Public Works for many, many years, and he just retired. So he's very excited, but he's also here as well, still serving the city of Brawley, and very happy to do so. I again was born here in Brawley, and I just love the city of Brawley. We moved to the city of Imperial after a while, but I'm still firmly very much here, and my heart is in the city of Brawley. Love cattle call, love just everything that Brawley is. So I am the chairman for the LGBT Center that has opened up in El Centro, California, and just kind of our little neighbors over there. And we are an organization that saw that there was a need within our community, a need within Imperial County, and that need wasn't being met by current services and current current kind of health services that were being provided in the Imperial Valley. So the purpose of our center is to provide essential resources, health resources, and also to provide a community for those within the LGBT community in the Imperial Valley. Our mission statement is to create a safe place and empower the LGBT community by connecting them to essential resources. And our vision is that one day equality in the Imperial Valley will be embraced. So what do we do? What is the LGBT Center accomplishing? And again, the letters in our acronym represent lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. And so the services that we provide are individual and family counseling for people that are within our community, medical and psychological services, referrals to outside agencies that are able to handle these issues that are coming into our center. We also provide domestic violence support, support for HIV positive individuals, transgender individuals, and also family members of LGBT people. We hold community meetings and we have community events every month. We have some community meetings that we're inviting just public administration officials as well as just individuals that want to come in and know a little bit more about what our organization is doing. We also have community education on LGBT information and issues, and we also have youth clubs and activities from music club, media club, youth committees, poetry night, and Valentine's Day dances. It's been pretty awesome to see how the community throughout Imperial County have really reached out and tried to come together, both in support and then also in accessing the services that we're providing. So I guess to give you a little bit of background on what we see in terms of LGBT populations in the United States. So specifically, I'm going to just look at some of the statistics that are widely accepted. So the widely accepted statistics on LGBT population is that 1 in every 10 people is LGBT. Some research also points to 1 in every 20. So we're looking at a population set that is between 5 to 10% of the population, and that is usually the accepted population sizes and estimates for the entirety of the United States. So if we take those numbers and we look at Imperial Valley or Imperial County as a whole, according to the 2010 census, we have about 174,500 individuals, which provides us at a 5 to 10% LGBT population of 8,700 to 17,400 individuals. And so that, again, is a very, very small population. And again, between 5 and 10. If we look at, again, Brawley's population, as of 2010, 24,953 people live in the city of Brawley. So if we look again at those numbers of 5 to 10%, that gives us about 1,200 individuals to 2,500 individuals in the city of Brawley itself. So what kind of does that mean? Again, we're looking at a very, very small population, and because of this the size of our population, it requires that we really need to look into trying to assure that these people are protected, that these people have access to health services, they have access to mental services, and they also have access to safe places where they can feel like they're not going to be persecuted or harmed. So why does this matter to the city of Brawley? Again, looking and considering the population size that we have here, there are a few laws that the state of California has enacted that are geared towards really protecting this small population. AB 196 is the amendment to the Fair Employment and Housing Act, and this act again prohibits discrimination in housing and employment based on the perception of individuals' gender, and regardless of whether the perceived gender characteristics are different from those traditionally associated with the individual's sex at birth. So this law again is protecting LGBT people from discrimination in housing. We also have AB 537, which is the School Safety and Violence Protection Act. This act, again, protects LGBT people against discrimination in schools that receive state funding. So we know that there are quite a few different schools here, elementary schools, high school, that fall under this act. And so those individuals that are within our community here in Brawley are protected under this act. And lastly, we have the state of California AB 1266, School Success and Opportunity Act. And again, this prohibits public schools from discriminating on the basis of specific characteristics, including gender, gender identity, and gender expression. So these laws, all three of these laws, are specifically geared towards protecting this small minority of a population in the city of Brawley. And it's really essential that they are protected. So the services that we're providing, and the reason why we're reaching out to the City Council, is to just really be a resource for the City Council, be a resource for the City of Brawley, for the city to be able to turn individuals towards our organization in case they find them in need of services, in need of help in any way, shape, or form. We've had a few cases of different school districts reaching out to us saying we have young kids that are coming to us that are identifying as gay or identifying as lesbian, and we don't know what to do. And before our center came about, they had nowhere to go, and now they do. And we're very, very proud to be able to provide information, to provide services that are capable of helping our school districts and helping parents and helping the children in our schools. So I guess some of the things that we often get asked are what do some of the terminology in the LGBT community mean? And to be honest with you, sometimes it's confusing for me as well. So mainly, again, we looked at what our logo stands for: lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. For the most part, these terms are fairly self-explanatory. So looking at gay, again, it's males that are attracted to males, lesbians are females attracted to females, and bisexuals are individuals that are attracted to both sexes. But looking at transgender, we're looking at a little bit different definition. It's a person who identifies with the gender identity which differs from one's sex at birth. And we're going to kind of review that in a few other slides, but we'll come back to that term. We also have some other terminology: intersex, general term used for a variety of genetic, hormonal, or anatomical conditions in which a person is born with a reproductive or sexual anatomy that doesn't seem to fit the typical definitions of female or male. We also have asexual, is lacking of sexual attraction to anyone. And cisgender basically describes the gender at which you are born and the gender that you identify with. So for the most part, for most individuals, we would consider ourselves cisgender. You identify as male and you are male. You identify as female, you are female. And so it is the subset of individuals that are not cisgender that kind of go into the transgender community. So kind of looking at what we're going to be covering here today, we're going to be covering 4 other areas. We're going to be looking at sex assigned at birth or biological sex, gender identity, gender expression, and sexual orientation. All 4 of these terms are very different, and sometimes they can be confusing, and sometimes they can be very mixed in terms of our understandings of them. Biological sex, or sex that you are born with, is sex based on your chromosomes. X and Y is the sex determination system found in humans. XX equals female and XY equals male. Again, this is just something that is a part of an individual's biological birth. This is how people are born into the world. And we also see that there are variations, whether it is because of, for various reasons. 1 in 1,666 births have other sex determination other than XX and XY. So we see that there are people that are being born that are not fully within the female realm or the male realm, simply because of how they are born biologically, and it's out of no fault of their own. And we see that, again, biologically there are various, 1 in 20,000 births, we see children born that are androgynous, that we cannot see if they have male parts or female parts. So this is kind of a unique situation that we find in just natural births that we have in our biology. Next, we come to sexual orientation. This is who you are attracted to. Again, this is completely separate from biological sex. So here on the far left, you have individuals that are heterosexual. On the far right, you have individuals that are homosexual, that are attracted to the same sex. And in between, you have those that are bisexual. And again, this distinguishes sexual orientation. Gender identity looks at who you think you are. And so sometimes, and this is called gender dysphoria, some people, again, if you're cisgender, you are born a woman biologically, and you identify as a woman. Some people are born male, and they identify as male. And but there's some people that don't identify as either woman or male, and they fall into the middle. Lastly is gender expression. This is how you basically express yourself in an outward appearance. Usually females are associated dressing feminine, males are associated dressing masculine, and in the middle it's androgynous. So, for the most part, we conform to the norms of gender expression, but it's not. But for some people, you might dress more feminine or more masculine, just depending on how you feel on the outside or on the occasion that you're going out on. All right, so looking at how to serve the LGBT community as a city council. So I think that there's a few things that I'd like to recognize that I think we should be aware that there are LGBT people that live in Brawley. Just looking at the statistics again, 5 to 10%, we would believe that there's anywhere between 1,200 to a little over 2,000 people here living in Brawley today that are identifying as LGBT. Be aware that LGBT inclusive laws exist. Again, we highlighted 3 different laws that specifically protect LGBT people in the city of Brawley and throughout the state of California. Know of the services that are presently provided, and that's kind of what I'm here for today, is to let you know that our center exists and that we are providing services and we're available to you to be able to, provide whatever is necessary that the city of Brawley needs for its population. And be conscious of how policy decisions may affect the LGBT community, which again is a very small group within the city of Brawley and within our country. And lastly, I guess we'll give you our information. This is our website, ivlgbtcenter.org, and you can find out more about our organization there. And then I just want to kind of open it up to questions. But before I do, I just wanted to first thank again the City of Brawley for having me here, and then also just be very thankful for the support that we've been receiving from the City of Brawley. Rosana has reached out to us and has been very much gracious in making sure that we know that we are welcome for the City of Brawley, and so she was the one that was able to help us speak here today. But then also we are going to have one of our mission is to provide more information out into the community about certain topics. And one of the topics that we're going to be speaking on this month is going to be the transgender rights and the bathroom debate nationally. And we were able to secure a location here in Brawley at the Del Rio Community Room, and we're very excited to have that forum open and available to public employees as well as individuals that are from the schools. And so I guess at this point, I just wanted to open it up to any questions that the City Council might have, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Morales, and I'd like to go ahead and do that if council has any comments or questions, or...
I don't, is it a center that's open 8 to 5 or for referral purposes, or?
Yes, we're again located in El Centro. We're right by Buckland Park off of Ross Avenue, and we are open 9 to I believe 3 o'clock, 9 to 3, and then we have various services in the evening around 6 o'clock or so that we have community meetings or youth committee meetings, music club. We have various services that we're also providing for depression. Also, again, the other services that I detailed earlier.
Any questions?
Any comments?
Questions? Just thank you for the information.
Of course, of course.
Yes, and I would assume the work you're doing, Mr. Morales, again, in representing a portion of the population, I think inclusion is obviously very important. So appreciate the information, and good luck to you, moving forward and providing those services. So unless there's any further comment, we will move to our next. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mr. Morales.
Next item will be under special presentations. We have item 3B, which will be Kaylee Roper, the California High School Rodeo Association District 8 Queen, is with us today, and will be requesting sponsorship.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Thank you so much. My name is Alexis Brown. I come to you under the hat of your Brawley Cattle Call Queen Committee co-chair, which our services are not just limited to the Cattle Call Queen contest. However, we are here to represent the California High School Rodeo Association. Kylie Roper is the 16-year-old daughter of Trey and Carrie Roper. She is a sophomore at Brawley Union High School and maintains a 4.0 GPA. She also is a cheerleader on the varsity cheer squad, participates with the Junior Fair Board, dances with Ooh La La, your local dance studio, and has a part-time job there as well. In the off time of that, she competes with the California High School Rodeo Association, which of course our arena holds one of their District 8 rodeos, which you have the plaque on our wall over there. So with that, I'd like to present to you the Miss California High School Rodeo District 8 Queen, Kylie Roper.
Hello, good evening, Mayor and members of the council. My name is Kylie Roper, and I am Miss CHSRA District 8 Queen. As the District 8 Queen, I represent the Imperial County, the San Diego County, the Riverside County, the Los Angeles County, Orange County, and the San Bernardino County. So this coming
a lot of
weekend,
people.
yes. This coming weekend, I will be going to Bishop, California to compete for my state title. It's a week-long competition in which I will have 23 appearances. And I am asking for any amount that you can give to help support me to continue through this competition.
Super, thank you, Ms. Roper, and you're quite accomplished, obviously, and I
Thank
noticed
you.
when the cameras went off, you went right into work mode.
Thank you.
As a professional. So what I'd like to do is maybe open this up for discussion with council of what we might entertain.
Do we know how much amount that we can help her with? Oh, there you are.
So we do, I did a quick revisit of the travel and training city council department budget. We do have some remainder funds, should the council wish to join in participating in some way. I believe in the backup for tonight's item, there was also a reference to the feature of the City of Brawley's logo on the horse trailer to kind of highlight our support of the activities and obviously us serving as home to a major event in our area once a year.
I think it's important that we support the activity. She's representing Imperial County, but she's also representing a lot of the other areas of the southern part of our state. I would be willing to make a motion that we supply her with $500 from our budget, from the city council's budget that we use for travel that's left over from that budget for this year.
I'll second that motion. Was that in the form of a motion?
That was what I put it in.
I'll second that.
It's not an action item, though, is it? It's just-
Yeah, is
That's
that-
true. I don't know that we can do that, yeah.
By direction, can we do?
We can do it by
We can't do
direction.
motion, can we do direction? Do we need to vote on
Are we
that?
allowed to offer sponsorships of this sort to individuals? I know we typically will do it for nonprofit organizations. So,
Right, so on an annual basis, the council puts aside a $3,000 value in the budget, and then each of you have a travel and training line item associated with your individual council member roles. Some of the practice in the last maybe 2 fiscal years has been to take from travel and training related line items to support any number of activities that have gone on throughout the year. They tend to be really, really modest contributions. And the history associated with sponsorship, you might recall as well that in past years, there was a single value, that pot of funds that was identified for travel and training of all council, and then we peeled it back and divided it into all 5, so each of you had an opportunity to work within a set of budget parameters. So it's really your call. The funds are limited, but as we're nearing the end of the fiscal year, we're closer and closer to end values for what remains on hand, and if you don't use it, it simply zeroes out and you start over again.
So
in your next
again,
fiscal
how
year.
much do we have on hand?
I can't give you the current balance with May values because we don't have new numbers out for May accounting figures that we catch up with travel and training, but I would say the total value, the last I looked was approximately maybe,
Pretty close.
yeah, 743 remains in special events
Which the year's ending here.
in June 30th.
And I do believe in my history on the council that we have made this type of sponsorship in the past for different organizations, both students from the school, different types of things that we're doing here. And since this is a statewide competition and it relates to our area and our geographic area and it's a positive for us, I believe there shouldn't be any problem with us making this sponsorship as long as it's a legal situation and we can do so.
You make it to the cattle call committee and they can.
Right, and they could, then they would give a turn, and she's got to put the logo on the thing so that there's a certain amount of benefit that we receive from the sponsorship, and I think that pretty much covers it.
Consideration.
It's a consideration, so it's not just simply a gift. It is related to something related to representing Brawley and also having a logo and all of those types of things. Plus, we're giving it to a nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
And so.
And Ms. Roper, this is no reflection on you. Remember, this is public process,
Oh,
so we
yes.
have to talk about this.
They were easy to
I
get
think
away
it's,
with.
yeah, I think it's really important, but I will definitely go along with
I'll
what...
support
Yeah.
Sam.
What
I do too.
what Ms. Roper is representing also is near and dear to Brawley, not just Imperial
Yes.
County. So we're certainly proud of our rodeo. We know that's a regional attraction, so we know you'll represent well. So thank you very much. If that's a direction, I think that direction has been supported
Yes, that's
across the
fine.
board. Okay, and so
Agreement, I think.
unless there's any further comment or questions, we thank you very much
Thank you.
for
And
the
good luck.
presentation here today.
Good luck.
Thank you.
We're very proud to have you representing us.
Yes, good luck on your
Make us proud.
competition. Yes.
Thank you, and good luck.
And no matter what you do, I know you'll help us.
Right on down to the handshakes are firm. Yes, it's just
Firm handshake.
fantastic. We'll move on to our next item, which will be item 4, the consent agenda. Items are approved in one motion. Council members or members of the public may request consent items to be considered separately at a time determined by the mayor. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed, no abstentions, motion carries. We'll move to the next item, which will be item 5, which will be our public hearing. Public hearing for item A is the 2015 Urban Water Management Plan update. And what we have presented is, will there be we're going to open right to,
Mayor Wharton, we do have a brief presentation from our interim Public Works Director,
Super.
Guillermo Cias.
we appreciate that. I was going to read this document, but I guess I will not now. I'll refrain and I'll defer
Thank
to
God.
our interim Public Works Director, Mr. Cias.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Guillermo Cias, Interim Public Works Director. The purpose of to conduct this public hearing is to obtain public comments and approve and adopt the 2015 Urban Water Management Plan update. This plan, or the Urban Water Management Act, requires urban water suppliers to report, describe, and evaluate water deliveries and uses, water supply sources, and efficient water uses. In addition, the Water Conservation Bill of 2009 requires urban water suppliers to report in their plans the base daily per capita usage, which in short means that how much water is using every person per day. Also, the urban water use target means the reduction by, in this case, by the year 2020. And the interim urban water use target, which is for this 2015, and compliance daily per capita water use. Based on the 2010 management plan, the target for 2020 for 2015 was to reduce to 240 gallons per capita per day, and based on the changes that happened between 2010 and 2015 with the new information, new population, and different users that came or left, the new numbers are for 2015, based on the update of the 2015, the new target for 2020 is to reduce to 275 gallons per capita per day. And interim for 2015 is to reduce to 310. Currently, the city of Brawley is using an average of 160 gallons per capita per day, so we met already our goal, let's say. So at this point, if you have any questions or the public needs more information, so I'd be glad to answer those.
Mr. Silas, what I'd like to do, if we could, we'll move forward with the hearing in the public, and then if and when we do close the hearing, of course we will, we'll move to the item, and then we'll have further discussion if we have any questions at that point for the resolution, if that works for council. So at this point, thank you for that. We are in the public hearing period. Are there any members of the public that would like to come up and speak? Okay. There's a gentleman. Sure. Step on up, and if you can state your name for us, please.
Sure. Hello. My name is Jesse Howdigi. Pretty much, I just want to, I am of the mainland residents, and I just, it's kind of public nuisance. All the
Mr. Howdigi, are you, I just want to reference, just for the purpose of this is for the
Yes, sir.
urban water management plan that
I'm
we're looking to
sorry.
pass, yeah. So if, I just want to make sure we stick to that before we close this.
Oh,
so.
okay, I'm sorry. I'll come back.
No
I'll come
problem.
back. Oh,
No problem, sir.
sorry, guys.
Are there any other members of the public that specifically would like to come up and comment about the urban water management plan? Seeing none, yes, Mr. Roller is not, okay. Seeing none, I will, at this time, if we're okay, I will close the hearing. And closing the hearing will bring us to the next item, item 5.2, and this will be the discussion and potential action to adopt a resolution number 2016-, the resolution of the City Council of the City of Brawley, California, adopting the urban water management plan.
I make a motion to approve and adopt.
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Are there any questions or any discussion at this point?
I guess, is there anything that we need to know in the plan, either from staff, city manager, or something that we need to know? Anything that jumps out at us, anything we need to be aware of that might be different, or something that we need to consider?
Yes, I would like to mention that it is important to approve this urban water management plan because beginning on this year, 2016, changes to the California law require water suppliers to comply with water conservation requirements established by the Water Conservation Bill of 2009 in order to be eligible for for state water grants or loans. So it's very important, this adoption.
So in order to get continuing money from the state, then we would have to adopt a plan, so it's pretty much required. Thank you.
Super. Any other questions?
No, sir.
If not, I'll go ahead and move forward with the question. So we have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No abstention, motion carries. We will move on to item 6, regular business. 6A is the discussion and potential action to approve the amended capacity reservation agreement between the City of Brawley and One World Beef for the 5-7 Shank Road, Brawley, California location. And do we have a presentation on
Very
this?
brief, Mayor Wharton.
Yes.
Presented in the backup of tonight's agenda, on page 85, is a brief staff report. Included with the agenda item are a copy of the existing water and wastewater capacity reservation agreement between the City of Brawley and National Beef as the owner of record for 57 Shank Road. Also included in the backup is a proposed agreement that was prepared in consultation with the new prospective owner, One World Beef LLC, for the same property. We have experienced an opportunity to rework some elements of the capacity reservation agreement. On the city's end, we have the chance to take on subject matter that relates to future capacity should the property ever go dormant. And on One World Beef's end, they have the opportunity to have the city amend the number of discharge points that are allowed at this particular property to convey wastewater to the City of Brawley's wastewater treatment plant. So included with the backup is a number of highlighted changes, and they were highlighted in that fashion to make it really easy. It's a lengthy agreement and rather technical. If you turn to page 95 of the proposed agreement, there are 2 additions that I would like to make reference to, and those first fall under the entrance statement to the agreement, and what we'd like to add in is the reference to One World LLC and its affiliates. So that did not make it into the draft. It is an addition that we are requesting this evening. In addition to that change, under the point of potable water delivery, it would be the second to last paragraph on the same page, there is a reference to attachment 1. And included in the backup for the existing agreement, you'll see that prior drawing. To facilitate more clarity than the drawing that was provided, we are proposing to use a description that reads, "The point of potable water delivery shall be considered at the northerly right-of-way line for the city of Brawley, situated at the southeasterly corner of One World Beef, with the APN number referenced, and the westerly of the extension of Northeastern Avenue."
In other words, you want to add that in?
So that's going to be a change on this?
Yes, those are two very minor changes, but wanted to make sure you were aware that those discussions occurred after agenda posting. And additional changes are highlighted for easy identification throughout the document. You'll see page 96 makes reference to the water rates, which are the applicable Prop 218 rates. And you may recall that the agreement that is existing, that particular agreement, the history of it was the city was in the process of transitioning from a discounted water rate with the prior provider to commercial water rates. And so now what we're trying to do is just put in the modern language for the commercial rate reference. And then moving to the additional capacity reservation, should One World Beef desire additional capacity, we have allotted a 60-day turnaround time from the city to respond to additional requests. You'll see references in sections A and B on page 98 to our wastewater pretreatment ordinance that was adopted in 2013 and not in place with the prior agreement. You'll see under the point of wastewater delivery highlighted 2 delivery points. And then moving to page 99 or page 5 of the agreement, we have another reference to the pretreatment limits as well as the applicable commercial rates for wastewater collection and treatment. Those are the most critical of our changes, with one exception on the final or second to last page, page 101 or 7 of the agreement. The topic of renewal is taken up, and that particular provision used to be a period that was continuously renewing. And if you look at the existing agreement, it's a really important distinction that should this property not develop for use, the capacity will not be assigned in perpetuity to the property. Instead, the city will be able to take back the capacity and use it for other purposes in our city limits.
5-year term though, right?
5 years.
Would have to be.
Yeah, vacant for 5 years.
Correct. And I know we do have with us this evening a member of the One World Beef legal team, Hazel Ocampo. And Ms. Ocampo and Mr. Smurden had extensive dialogue on preparation of the agreement. If there are any questions, either or any of us would be happy to take them.
We have all the right folks. Thank you very much for that report. I'll open it up to council. Questions or comments?
So they were all in agreement with all the changes that were given to them?
This document reflects items of agreement between both parties.
Okay.
It does put us in a better position than we were previously, especially with respect to the commercial rates being paid and the fact that there is an opportunity to take back the capacity after 5 years, which wasn't the case previously, so.
It looks like it's a win-win for both, and we'd like to see the One World Beef proceed. As you know, we're getting a request from the public and everything else. And so I think this is a positive, and I think it will help us. And as long as that second discharge point is monitored effectively by the city, I don't see any problem with it. I think we're going to be monitoring all discharge anyway, so I don't see any problem.
Well, at least it's addressed now. It's
Yes,
not
yeah, it's not just-
super, what
yeah.
was it, superhuman waste or super,
Yeah,
whatever?
But that'll be great, I think. that-
Super domestic
and so
waste.
I don't
That was
have
the
a
term
problem.
they used.
And I read the agreement, so I
Yeah.
mean, I don't have a problem with it.
The Superman that used the restroom there.
I might have some concerns about 2.5 million gallons, but I think that we'll cross that bridge, I think, when we come to it.
Well, the 2.5 was the prior amount of water that
That
we
was what
used,
they
so
were
we
utilizing.
don't anticipate that it would be that much, will
It
it?
is possible, and they certainly
Yeah,
have a
they
right
have the
to it
right to
with,
it.
with this new agreement, but I think the important distinction is, the alternative to this amended agreement is that the current agreement simply runs
Yes.
with the property, and they would have that capacity assigned to them anyway. We
So-
just wouldn't have the benefit of renewal being taken up differently, and they wouldn't have the benefit of the second discharge permit being allowed.
My only hope would be that if they go to that amount, that it would happen in a gradual way so that we can make adjustments to our systems along with theirs, and so that we can all, benefit from that. And I would hope that that does not affect our capacity and ability to do other economic development and other residential development within the city of Brawley. But that's all. I mean, I'm in agreement with this agreement.
I was just, kind of blown away by the amount of water. I didn't think that they used anywhere near that much water.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite a bit of product at its
It's
peak.
28% of our capacity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have any other questions.
Okay. No other questions? I'll just add my comment. I want to continue to share my appreciation for staff. I know that between staff and the representatives of One World Beef, this has been quite a bit of work even to get to this point. So I know I'm echoing many members of the city and our council. We're really hoping that there's an announcement coming up soon, but I know this is a big step. So with that, I'd like to move forward with, do we have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No abstention, motion carries. We'll move on to item 6B, which will be the discussion and potential action to award a contract to CalStripe for project number 2016-08, Streets Striping Project Phase 2, in the amount of $116,238.74. And we have our interim Public Works Director, Guillermo
Good evening,
Macias.
Mr. Mayor again and council members. This is a project for striping on streets. We received two proposals. One is for CalStripe at around 116,000, and the other one was a much less amount. But while reviewing the proposal, the other company is not responsive, the lower bidder responsive, because it doesn't have the license that is required, which is license A. And so we cannot award to them, and so we have CalStripe instead.
I make a motion to approve the item, Mr. Mayor.
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Unless there's any further discussion, no questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Not in favor or opposed? None? We'll move on. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Guillermo. We'll move on to item 7, our departmental reports, and we'll begin with item A, which is our monthly staffing report.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
There's
Oh, I am sorry, that's important, my check marks. That's why there's 5 of us, thank you. Our item under regular business, so we're not done, we do have item C, which will be the discussion and potential action regarding the city council's summer 2016 public meeting schedule.
Mayor Wharton, members of council, we normally meet the first and third Tuesday of every month, and for the last several years, the month of August has gone dark. It's certainly the direction of council to maintain the schedule or go dark unless there's a time-sensitive item that calls for the council to meet. So we just placed it here because it's an upcoming month. If you'd like to go dark, we certainly can. If not, that's fine too. We're here to work with you through the summer months.
Mr. Mayor, I would make a motion to go dark in the month of August and meet if there is a need.
I'll second that.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? I will go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Now I will move on to our next item, item 7.
Surely.
Departmental reports.
Mr. Mayor, there's a number 7 still?
7A, so we have Shirley Benias, our Personnel and Risk Manager, which will share a brief staffing report with us.
Honorable Mayor, council members, as stated, Shirley Benias, Personnel and Risk Management. On page 105 is the very active recruitment for the city of Brawley. Parks maintenance worker recently closed last Friday, and we'll be reviewing those hopefully sometime this week or first part of next week and holding interviews. We've had two, one that happened this month and another one's going to happen next month, resignations out of the dispatch center. So we're actively recruiting for two positions. We still have the Public Works Director and the Operations Division Manager positions open, as well as the Utility Worker 2. We have an equipment mechanic that closed, that the applications have not been reviewed quite yet. We're still in the hiring process for summer day camp, so reviewing those numerous applications, going to be hiring approximately 30 people on the rec side to handle the summer day camps. And then we also had a resignation out of the LAMS project coordinator has resigned, and that is a limited term position because it's grant funded. So we are actively recruiting for that position as well. So yes, we're very busy in personnel in these days.
Thank you for that, Ms. Bonillas. I got a question just on the dispatchers being down to, what is our total personnel count for dispatchers? Do we know?
8. We
There's
have 8
total.
is what I recall from the budget numbers. We have one part-timer that's reflected here. She has been recently hired about 2 months ago, Chief, 3 months ago, and so she's going through the training process. Hopefully, she'll be up and running. It's a long training process. It's 5-6 months easy by the time they get the rhythm of the multiple things hitting you at the same time, so.
So we do have one part-timer that's making the transition?
In
Okay.
place. So, and then we reconfigured the police department just a little bit different with a non-sworn supervisor instead of a head dispatcher and a records supervisor. Happens to be that our non-sworn supervisor handling the records division is a well-versed, seasoned dispatcher. We have backup plans in place, sir. We are receiving applications and having an active recruitment.
So you have two vacancies in the police department for dispatchers, right?
Right, you only see one on your report because the other one hasn't occurred yet. It will occur in July.
And those are posted on our website?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
And meanwhile, I know it's probably a strain, I would assume, on the remaining 6
Yes,
to keep it together, because I'll just remind the public, these are 24/7 services that are happening, so.
That's why we immediately went into recruitment mode.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Do we have any other questions, any other comments? Excellent, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Bonillas. We'll move to item 7B, which is an update. And this is regarding the 3 million gallon water reservoir improvements project. And again, we have our interim Public Works Director, Guillermo Silas.
Good evening again. Last March, the council awarded the contract to West Coast Industrial Coatings for rehabilitation of the airport reservoir storage tank in the amount of around $377,000. During the course of the removal of the coating, the contractor discovered that the roof and portion that support that roof of the tank is severely corroded, compromising the integrity of the structure. So right now, contractor is evaluating the repair, and also we have our construction management company, Lee & Rowe, that will be reviewing the structural proposal. So I just wanted to make the council aware that we will be coming back before you to propose a change order to repair that roof and to have to extend the life of that tank that right now is, severely corroded, and so we want to last much longer.
Mayor Ward, may I offer a couple of additional
Sure.
comments? We are anticipating a change order will be coming forward. There are some timing issues with regard to the activity associated with the tank in that once the sandblasting work of the interior begins, it's the window in which the upper portion would be taken on as well. We're hopeful that our timing will work with the next city council meeting on the 21st, but if not, our intention was to inform you that this is anticipated to be coming forward. We are currently looking at values in the $30,000 range. It really isn't an option to not move forward with the work, although we're here to carry out your wishes, because the structure is going to serve the city for the long haul and is a very important feature in our water distribution system. So more than anything, we wanted to take away a surprise factor that comes 6/21, and our city council is prepared to meet and act on a change order, that if that window of time doesn't work in our favor, it means we may either need to place the project on hold or move forward in advance of the authorization. So if you have major concerns about that, would certainly welcome your feedback so we know how to conduct our oversight of the project between now and the 21st.
Rosanna, that would, typical of a project like that, I would assume is covered within the contingency or the 30, or
Yes,
not necessarily?
we'll be fine in terms of finding the financial resources to adequately complete the project. It's more of a timing, because it's in excess of my authorization as city manager. It would be normal business to take the item to you to authorize a change order before the work proceeds. But because in this instance, there's some trade-off with regard to the sandblasting, exposure of the material, and further compromise of the material, we may have an issue with sequence.
Right, and my understanding is, maybe, Guillermo, if you could expand on that, there are some atmospheric condition issues as we're going into this summer.
Right,
And
correct.
I understand it's something to do with
Yes, once they
humidity.
remove the coating, the bare metal has to be covered again or coated. The contractor is monitoring the condition of the metal, but as soon as we start getting humidity mixed with the heat enough, so it can develop rust on the metal, and contractor is obligated by the contract to sandblast again at their own expense, and is something they want to avoid. The other option is to bring a sophisticated equipment to remove the humidity, which is expensive also, and contractor wants to avoid that. Once they propose the repair, we will have our engineer reviewing it, and probably will be an additional cost, because right now we just have covered the normal inspections and construction management, but not the structural review of a structural engineer. So as city manager mentioned, I don't know if the next meeting will be sufficient to have all the parts in place, and also the range that she mentioned about the $30,000. The last discussion that I had with them, it raised to $80,000 now. So, but I don't have the information. I asked them to provide dimensions, plans, and specifications that what will they be using for my structural company to review it. So we're in that process that it is unknown right now when is it going to be ready for approval.
Sure.
Just a couple of things. You're going to have it reviewed by Lee and Rowe, so that should eliminate some of the unknowns where, you guys are doing it on your own, or they're just giving us a figure. So with Lee and Rowe's review, that should make it a little bit, since they're an independent reviewer of that construction or whatever they're going to do there with the sandblasting and the recoating, then we should have a clear picture that their bid is probably, or whatever that they're suggesting that we spend on that, is pretty close to being the accurate amount with the Lee and Rowe review, right? And that's one of the reasons why you're having them look at that, I think.
Correct.
And so, and then as far as the timing goes, we may be dark in August, so that probably means that they may need to complete that work before we can give you that final authorization on that additional amount. We've already authorized the $300,000. It would be the additional amount that we would have to do the change order on. So we've got pretty much that done. I think it's just a question of when the timing of when that other thing occurs.
Right.
We can't really take any action to direct you to do anything tonight because it's a departmental report and not an action
Right.
item. So we can't all we can do is kind of give you direction as to what to do, maybe.
Right.
But it
Let me-
sounds like it's going to be before August. I mean, they'll find out
It sounds
soon.
like it may be
It
at
sounds like
our
a-
meeting here, but if it's not,
Right.
that would be the case.
Some
still have
additional,
July.
additional information that might help is that we have a contingency of 56,000. But the contractor, let's say, just to give you an example, contractor is proposing something and is giving me the dollar amount. When I asked him the details, he said, you have to pay for the design in order to give you something. So it's kind of back and forth, so I don't know if it will be ready by the next meeting. Probably I will have to set aside the contractor, bring my own structural engineer and provide a solution.
Right.
But in the meantime, contractor can claim delays. So it's you know.
It's a touchy situation,
Right,
timing-wise.
exactly.
I got you. I've got to know where you're headed with it.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Zay. Do we have any other questions or comment? Thank you for the report. So I'm sure the council and the public appreciates having the heads up to move forward. I will move on to item 8, which will be any additional informational reports.
There are none at this time.
We have none. That'll bring us to item 9, which will be city council member reports. And I'll begin with Councilmember Noriega.
Okay, I have a few things. On May the 18th was the Brawley Community Club, Women's Club last meeting. They have been together for 112 years. And the oldest member, still alive, is 103, and that's Mrs. Wavra. We had quite a few members, but in the end, they had decided that whatever money was there, we were going to spend it, so we gave out scholarships, 2 scholarships to Calipatria and 2 to Brawley. So those will be the last of the scholarships, and that's the last of the money that we had set aside for the scholarships. So on behalf of Brawley City Council, I wish them the best. They're still going to meet not on a regular basis, but every once in a while they will be together. Most of these women are up in age, and we've lost quite a few of them. As you know, 112 years together was quite a bit. So besides that, there is, I went to the Brownies Diner patio grand opening on May the 23rd. Lots of people there. I left before the dancing, which is probably one of my favorite, but unfortunately I got ill. And then on May the 25th is when I went to the Calipatra High School and gave out the scholarships for the Women's Club, along with my co-member Sam. On May 27th, I was gone then. I went on a bike ride. I am riding as a passenger on a Harley Davidson, which I'm having a great time on those. We're doing a lot of runs, so if you don't see me around, that's why. On May the 31st, I came to the swearing in of the officer Nicholas Jodar. I represented all of you, and I know that we all have different things, but I'm glad to know that at least one of us are at each. We can't make everything. As Norma was stating today, there is so much for us to do and not enough time for all of us to be there. So it's good to know that we at least have Elma, who at least gets one of us there. On June 1st, I was coming to the Planning Commission meeting, but it was canceled. So we had the annual dinner for the Brawley, for the Brandy and Iron Award, which went to Liz Gonzalez. I congratulate her for being honored. She cried, she was very emotional, and said she should not have gotten it. She's not worthy of it, but all of us said yes, she was. She has done a lot for the city and continues to be a big part of whatever goes on, PTO even in the school district for her children and other children, and she donates lots of money towards whoever comes to her, and she also volunteers for Chamber of Commerce. She became the president of the Chamber of Commerce, or is going to be, so happy to have her with us. Had a meeting with Eduardo Garcia on Friday, June the 3rd, and we talked about the burnt building again on G and 8th, and he had some ideas, so he will be sending some paperwork to us, and I will share that with City Manager Rosanna. And then we also talked about the Cesar Chavez statue, because several people have approached us to talk about that. They have money already accumulated for that statue, so that should be coming to one of our city council meetings. And that's about it. Oh, benches. And then I was approached also by the east side of the tracks for the merchants and the business people on there, that they really like the benches that we had on Main Street. So they want to know, how much, what the cost is. I've already approached Rosanna to get me some prices so I can share that with them. And that's including Liz Gonzalez, because her business is just right across the railroad tracks also. So if we can get some information on that, I'd appreciate it. And that's it.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Noriega. Next, we'll have Councilmember Howdy.
Okay. Yes, I was able to attend the gallery night over at the Del Rio Country Club, and it was very well attended and very successful. And I got to spend quite a bit of money on my grandkids' artwork donation, feel good cause. I also attended the Brownies ribbon cutting, and happy to say that my family were the entertainment. My husband and my sons both entertained. They provided the music along with the band, and it didn't feel like a Monday. People didn't want to leave, so it was kind of an interesting crowd. They were very appreciative, both Mark and Juanita, and I think what did I say? Mark. Oh, I said Mark. Gabe. And they, I think all the community was there to support them, so it was very good. I attended the Mega Mixer over at Stockman's on the 26th, also very well attended. A lot of businesses, and got to go around and talk to all the representatives that were there, and I think that's probably one of the best ones that I've attended. It was really, really good. On the 27th, I went out to the Cattle Call Arena, and I got to meet with the Cattle Call Committee. They showed us the new LCD lighting that they put out there, and talked to us about all the volunteers and the sponsors, and actually gave us a history. Mr. Rutherford gave us a history of the Cattle Call Arena, which was very interesting. And we had a representative there from Ivy Press, and he wrote up a really nice article on that whole thing. So I was really impressed with all the work and everything that they do out there for us. So, and then I also attended, along with most of you, the Branding Iron Awards banquet. And again, I also concur that Liz Gonzalez is very deserving of that award, and I think she does a great job for the community, and she really is a good reflection of what Brawley does throughout Imperial County. So that's about it.
Very good. Thank you very much, Councilmember Howdy. Councilmember Nava?
I'll provide a quick update on things. The League dinner I was able to attend outside of Hopeville, well attended by fellow council members and some other members of the public from throughout the county. I did want to provide a film commission update to the council, but it's very sensitive in nature, and I hope to be able to put that on closed session in the future. So I will discuss that with Bill to see if that can be accommodated, but there's just some things that we need to discuss in closed session. Also attended the ICTC meeting, and of course the Brownies opening. I've also received, it's not even several, but a few complaints with respect to the restrooms at our city facilities and the condition that they're in. So they didn't provide a specific park, but it was just a note saying that they weren't able to use the facilities at the park because of the condition they are in. So they had to take their daughters elsewhere to use the restroom. So I think that's something we need to make sure that we're addressing and looking at as staff. So, and again, I don't have the specifics on the location, and but that's just something. And I've been into some of our facilities that are obviously in need, and I know that's a challenge to maintain. Another one was with respect to parking out in front of City Hall and the post office and those areas. The complaint was that there wasn't consideration given by people and that they were parking there for the majority of the day. And so they wanted to see if it's possible to limit parking there during business hours on weekdays, like 2-hour parking, that sort of thing. I know it's something that I recall being discussed many years ago, and I mean, obviously that didn't go anywhere, but it's just something to look at and consider.
Just on that note, I actually heard about that also, and I came out here when I parked there for a little bit, and my observation is that most people go in and out, like 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes on an average, and there's always parking available. So I was kind of puzzled by that request, so.
And
maybe
it
was
is.
just an odd time that.
It could be, but there certainly are, people that do park out in front for
And
an
stay
extended
there.
periods of time.
There's also many people that park in here and then go to the
Right.
post office
Yeah,
too,
I've
and
seen
to
that
our
as well.
parking lot. They do that a lot. But they don't usually stay.
Right, so that is the update that I want to provide, and thank you to staff and everyone else.
Thank you, Councilmember Nava and Mayor Pro Tem Couchman.
I'll go fast. I had the opportunity to present scholarships on behalf of IVRLP Community Foundation and the Stockman's Club to Brawley Union High School, to Calipatria High School, and also I got the ability to go over to Southwest High School and present scholarships to Southwest, which is unusual for the Brawley guy to go over to Southwest. But I was happy to do that, and I was able to do that in the course of my duties. And I was at the ribbon cutting for Brownie's new dining area. It's a nice dining area, and it'll be good because we can get in there during dove season. There'll be plenty of room for everybody. I did the Chamber Mega Mixer at the Stockman's. Great event. A lot of us were there, so we kind of know how that went. I also was able to do the Memorial Day celebration at our Riverview Cemetery, and the American Legion and the VFW do a good job. There was quite a few people in attendance, and I think Sheriff Loera and Mr. Hidalgo spoke at that event. It was a nice event, well-attended, as I said. It went on for about an hour, and so that was neat to have somebody there from the city representing the city there. And I also went to the Brandon Iron Dinner at the Del Rio Country Club, and I was also able to attend a field day at Sacred Heart School for the kids at Sacred Heart School because my granddaughter's over there, and so I was able to sit in on the field day and watch them do their activities, and it was a lot of fun, and they had a good time there. And that's what I did this last few weeks, so thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Couchman. And for myself, many of the events have already been mentioned. Just the ones I attended were the Brownies Diner expansion. Fantastic event, as you've already heard, and big congratulations to the family there, both Gabe and Juanita for the expansion, and Mary. So I know they're very proud, and we certainly, as we kind of mentioned, we need to eat some more lunches and dinners and breakfasts and get over there and help support that expansion.
Yeah, look at us. We don't
I'm
already.
definitely. And then I did attend the California League Division meeting. Again, as Councilmember Nava mentioned, it was well attended. We represented, I think that was split that night with the Mega Mixer as well. So I think the rest of council, we kind of divided and conquered that night. And by the way, the Brawley mayor was better dressed than the El Centro mayor at that particular event, so I'll put that on record there, looking into the camera. And the next event, as mentioned, the Cattle Call Committee. Again, the LED project there was great, but unexpectedly, we got a little bit more information on what the committee's planning in the future. So again, that was a nice little event that we attended that night. Branding Iron Award, just fantastic. Big kudos again, and congratulations to Liz Gonzalez and her family, who were up there front and center. And again, I think the Chamber also does a fantastic job with that. They changed it up a little bit this year to accommodate her schedule, but it was a great event. One other, this is a little bit more regional. I do attend this usually on an annual basis, but I did attend the California Fire Emergency and Disaster. Some of that obviously is work-related for me, but I always find it's interesting, since I've been on council attending some of these regional conferences that have to do with emergency services, healthcare, et cetera, puts a little different slant on it. So it's an opportunity to meet with regional fire chiefs from all over Southern California. And I know, again, in the past, our fire chief or some members of Brawley have either come by or they're certainly aware of it. I know at the county level they do as well. So again, attended that. One thing I just want to finish up with, I know that in a community like ours, once in a while, we do mention or we read about it of either, brothers, sisters, friends, members of the community that pass. I do want to mention Dr. Price. I attended a service that was held at the Pioneers Hospital in remembrance of Dr. Price, but I think our healthcare professionals that provide the type of services that Dr. Price did, and he was certainly just an ardent supporter of our community, and I know he touched the lives of many of our families, and again, I wanted to put that on record, is that we truly appreciated the work that he provided for us here in our community and all throughout Imperial County. So with that, I will move forward. Summer is upon us, or coming. So with that, I'd like to move on to our item 10, which will be our city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor Wharton. I have 2 items listed in the agenda. The first is a preview of some coming attractions. As you may recall, we've previously updated the council on accumulated program income funds and requirements by the state of California to utilize those funds before we tap community development block grant dollars that the cities receive to accomplish 2 key projects, being the fire apparatus and our sewer manhole project. So in connection with delivering those projects and a number of loans being paid off, our value, the balance in that fund has increased considerably. But there are very strict guidelines as to how those funds can be used. In a prior update, we shared that due to changes in census values, where our average median income has risen in our city limits, we no longer qualify for HCD's approval of projects that serve the public at large. Instead, we have to hit or focus our efforts on other national objectives. So we have been in the process of identifying locations as well as activities that would be eligible for use of these funds. And one location you have already been updated in some detail about, which was Alice Giroux Park renovation and some future improvements that may be accomplished with these funds in connection with work that's being performed here in the next fiscal year. So the second location is Hinojosa Park, and because the census tracts that abut Hinojosa Park qualify, we have the ability to do improvements to that facility that address a national objective, which is the targeted income group, and then in addition to that, the disabled community. So we have carved out a set of proposed activities that are described in our ADA transition plan. This was a document that came to the council for approval in the last 18 months or so. And within that transition plan, there's a set of features that are meant to make our facilities more accessible to a full range of community members. So it would be to accomplish improvements such as additional sidewalks, meandering pathways to reach locations such as the restroom, any number of features throughout the park. However, in order to accomplish these projects, we actually have to submit the concept in some amount of detail to the state for their approval. Now, in concept, at a very, very general level, we have their concurrence that the targeted income group and the abutting census tracts and ADA, that those 2 things are very, very much in keeping with the strings attached to the funding for their use. However, we have to submit these more detailed drawings. They're not the final engineered documents, but they're the phase to precede the engineered documents, and we cannot use the funds accumulated to pay for them. So the sum currently for that set of drawings is within the city manager's authority, and I just want to make you aware that we'll be outsourcing the drawings to be performed by an outside group. We do expect that once we submit and obtain their authorization, that we'll have the ability to proceed with construction of improvements. The construction of improvements will likely force the subject matter of design cost into the council's realm because it's likely to exceed the $15,000 threshold. So more than anything, I just want you to know we're heading down a direction that in the future, local funds will need to be used in order to use approximately $1 million of accumulated program income funds. So local money would have to match in a much smaller portion the dollars that would be used for construction, because we can't use the dollars accumulated for the engineering fees.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. So,
What a trip.
but lots
Yeah,
of
that's typical.
improvements potentially coming to Hinojosa Park that are, I think, widespread benefit, and the current scope of work also includes some community engagement on the topic. There's the incorporation of some additional playground features that are also eligible for different types of children that are out there as users.
Is there a deadline on when this has to be spent?
Yes, and I'm sorry to say I don't have Francisco Soto here. He is sick today. I believe the date was, the year was 2018.
Oh, okay.
So we have a little bit of time that we're working with, but we want to get this in motion so we don't lose the chance to
Right.
utilize the accumulated funds and the $2 million award.
Right.
So that is the update on that item. Item 10B is an update on our overall budget process. I did want to report to the council that we continue to work on the overall budget presentation, and as of last Friday evening, we have reached conceptual agreement with all of our bargaining units. And so although our final prepared document is a little bit behind schedule, will ultimately be 2 meetings behind the published calendar, we do aim to have a document ready for council's review and consideration at the next council meeting in June, which will be prior to fiscal year ending June 30. And with that, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
My question was, you said we were going to outsource for the drawings, so we have no one in our staff that does that.
The workload at the Public Works Department among our engineering staff, we're reduced by 33% right now. We cannot accomplish the engineering of those documents within the timeframes to get it pre-approved and accomplish the project in time. There are many other projects in front of this one that have much larger dollar values that have been delayed in terms of their delivery.
Because we don't have public works.
So it's been identified for outsourcing as a result of our reduced in-house capabilities.
Any other questions for the city manager's report? If not, thank you very much to our city manager. We'll move to item 11, which would be the city treasurer's report.
Looks like we're going to get a report.
Yeah, that's right.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, Ruby Walla, City Treasurer. I just wanted to give you an update that I have started engaging conversations with Sun Community regarding the update that I've been providing regarding our CD rate that we have with them that's currently at 0.25% versus LAIF at 0.46. So we are starting conversations as the CD is scheduled to mature in July. So we may be looking at potentially getting, renewing the CD at a 1.24. So
Yes,
that's
it's
not
right.
yet confirmed, but that's where we're heading. We still want to, Sun Community still wants to do business with us, and in exchange, the city says
All
we
you
still
have
want
to
to
do-
do business with them.
All you
So-
have to do is tell them that, right? I mean, that's.
Well,
Yeah, so I just wanted to, that was just recently, so I just wanted to update you on that front.
Yes, Ruby, I did notice that the interest rates had gone up on CDs, just for individual CDs that like CVB and stuff, they're all over 1% now, which is pretty much a large amount compared to what they were. So-
Right, so that's
I
what,
think
we'll
that may
also
be part
engage
of
with
it, too.
CBB as theirs
Right.
actually reduced as well.
Right. So,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good news.
Thank you very much, Ruby. We'll move to item 11, which will be our city attorney's report.
We just have had to been really responsive to One World Beef. You know, their transaction is quite large. There's a lot of little pesky details that they have to resolve, and luckily we've been able to resolve them quickly, and I think to everyone's satisfaction. And luckily we have Rosanna and Gordon and Alma who can dig up information for me, because a lot of these things happened before our time. But
Yeah.
we've been able to resolve a lot of things, and it's looking pretty good.
That's good.
Excellent, excellent.
Excellent.
Thank you very much to our city attorney. And
Nice
then
job with
item
it.
13 is our city clerk's report. We have no report there. We'll move to item 14, closed session. I want to thank everyone for being here this evening, and we will take a brief recess, about 5 minutes.
Yes, nice job on the unit. On the